Ivory Coast has seen the celebration of the century that's uniting the past with the present. Crowds gathered to welcome the return of this stolen relic, a sacred wooden drum that had been on display in Paris for decades. It's one of hundreds of looted artifacts that France is now returning to Africa, made possible by a new law. It was a moment marked by a military parade and ceremony ending in Adjamé, an ancestral village located in Abidjan, and the place where the so-called talking drum was made.
It was a homecoming that many feared would never happen. With festivities to match the joy of this historic return.
Hello guys, as you see in that short video clip that France have returned some of their stolen artifacts or relics they stolen from Africa. They are returning it back. And today we are looking at what might be behind this action they are taking, because they have been in possession of this stolen good for decades, for years, and they didn't think about returning it. Why are they returning it now? And I will give you my suggestion. I will give you like what I think is making them to do this now, because it's not like these people have just repented of their actions in Africa. You know, before I talk about this antifact, I want to say that France is number one, the most. Let me say, when it talks about when it comes to colonization, I think France is on top of the list as the worst colonizers, because as a British or Britain can do kick and hide, you know what I mean? They can hide sometimes, but France never hide. They always, you see their presence. They never leave Africa completely. Even I'm not saying that the British Empire have left Africa completely, but France depends in Africa, like they depends in Africa so bad that you see it's obvious, and they are the worst, or one of the worst. Let me not say they are only the worst. Maybe they are top of the group of the worst colonial masters in the entire universe. You know what I mean? And up till now, they have not left, but because of the political situation in Africa now, the people like the francophone Africans or countries are waking up to what they have been doing for them for a long time, and I think that's what is motivating them to bring this back, this stuff they are bringing back, these artifacts they're stolen from Africa. I think that's the motivation why they are bringing it back to Africa. They want to appease, some Africans that have not turned against them completely, like Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast, they have not turned their back completely against France. So what they want to do is they want to use this opportunity to give them like good gestures. You know what I mean? But this is not good gestures. This is supposed to, my problem with the Ivory Coast people, that they are dancing and rejoicing that this artifact is back. But this is it should be a sad day for them, because this is a reminder of what these people have done for them. Because when you remember like this is what they came to your country and subdued your people and took back. It shouldn't be. The day shouldn't be rejoicing. It shouldn't be a rejoicing day. It should be a sad day that this stuff even happened in the first place. Because you cannot try it in Europe. You cannot come to Europe and take anything from them. So you cannot take anything from them and keep it, because the stuff they keep, the stuff they took from Africa, they are still there in Europe, in many places in Europe, and they see them every day, but they don't want to return it back. And, they will tell you they champion democracy, which is false. You know what I mean? This when they talk about democracy, it doesn't make sense because you cannot talk about democracy where you are still keeping somebody's stolen goods, And the Ivory Coast people are rejoicing that they bring the France are bringing it back, but they don't know that France are bringing it back just to give them, just to make sure that they don't kick them out, which I believe that the right thing for Ivory Coast to do is to kick them out completely, turn their back like Burkina Faso, Mali have done to them. So this is what they want to do. They want to use this opportunity and revive their stuff, show their face again. Look, we are trying to right the wrong. We are bringing stuff, so keep us in your place. We are still relevant to you, but they should kick them out completely if they can take my advice, because for them, they not only colonize people and steal their stuff and still keep it and make money out of it, and they're not paying money. There's another thing about these returns they are returning. When they return this, our people just clap, rejoice, dance that is back. But we're not talking about compensation. You cannot use this to make money. This artifact has been making money for them because people travel all over the world to come and see this artifact, which is not they didn't have any hand in making them, and they collected money from people to see this artifact, and by the end of the day, they just return it after like maybe 100 years. And the Ivory Coast people, the Africans, are not talking about how do you charge them for this. You can't just keep somebody's stuff. It's not, you didn't make money out of it, or you made money out of it, and you're not giving the money back. The rejoicing should be like, look, you guys are bringing this. We have to charge you guys in the first place. For and sometimes you can even say like, there's damages in this stuff you took, because you cannot tell me that when they took this from Africa and they brought it to France, they are not gonna have like a little bit of damage or even major damage. You can charge them for that. And get money from these people, because you guys Africa deserve to get this money from them, because these people are brutal, when they are doing stuff like that. They are colonizing and they are stealing. And by the end of the day, they will say that Africa, we don't have a brain to do something. And the stuff we produce, even if it's art, you shouldn't steal it. And if there is no record of it, they will say they are the owner of the stuff they steal from Africa. But this is African stuff. Peace.